Welcome back, YouTube. How you doing? How you been? I know I've been gone for a little bit. So I wanted to make this video to talk about where I've been, why it's been so long, and what you can expect from me this week. Let's get into it. So where I've been running to the Beer Mile World Classic. I started that on July 31st, and I did my 456-mile run over the course of 16, 17 days. Got to Windsor on August 16th and did the Beer Mile World Classic on Saturday the 17th. I'll dive into the details of that in another video, but man, it was so much fun. That was one of the most fun running events that I've had to date. Met some incredible people. We had a ton of fun. I think what stands out the most is when I bring my experience back to people from Minnesota, friends, people I encounter at Embrace North or Yoakum Strength, I truly believe that every single one of those people, regardless if they are runners or not, would have a ton of fun at this event. It is pure entertainment. One of the highlights of that run, of that race, was this dude. So there's 4 open heat divisions, and in the second race, there's a dude that threw up on his second, third, and fourth beer. And the whole crowd is going nuts. The whole crowd is cheering him on when he's, throwing up all over the track. They're going crazy, and he continues to put down the beer, put it in the bin, and keep on going, and the whole place is erupting. So the energy was electric. And there was a great after party afterwards where all the racers and event people, volunteers, friends, family, significant others got together, and we had a great time to end the weekend together. And then after that, I drove home to Chicago. My dad and my girlfriend Lucy, we drove back to Chicago from there, where I spent 3 days with family and just really wanted to spend time with them. I was hanging out with my 2 nieces, my 2 young nieces, my brother and my sister and sister-in-law, and just spent those 3 days at home with family, kind of removing myself from running. I did a little bit of editing, but I really wanted to make sure that I spent time at home with them. And then took the train so this takes me to last Wednesday, took the train home from Chicago back to St. Paul. It was a 7-hour train ride. All things considered, if I ever have the option between driving home and taking the train home, I will always take the train from here on out, because a drive, it's about 6 hours. Train, it's 7 hours. But it's a significant difference in your mental capability needed to get home. With driving, there's all the stress of trying to get there as fast as possible. You're having to pass people on the highway. You're thinking about stopping for gas, for food, for snacks, to take a piss. All these different elements. When you're on the train, you don't have to think about any of that. You just go. And when you get home, you get home, and it's on time. And you can just hang out. I was hoping to get a ton of uploading done during that, but to my surprise, the internet connection on the Amtrak was just piss poor. It was horrible. I couldn't even get on the Wi-Fi on my phone. It was that bad. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to upload any videos or really edit much on the train. So I just watched Kill Tony, and what else did I watch? Yeah, just a bunch of podcasts and stuff. Then immediately after, so got home Wednesday night at 6:30. Thursday afternoon, midday around 1, Kellen, Caius, Raymond, and I got dropped off in Duluth by Raymond's coworker, Austin. And we, on Friday, started our 160-mile run from Duluth back to St. Paul. It was our 3rd annual Duluth run, babyless stroller run, 55-ish miles a day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I finished that 2 days ago. Yesterday, just completely recovery day. Spent some time over at Embrace North. Ended up actually golfing 18 holes. Shot a 94, a true 94, and I hadn't golfed in 2 years. So shooting a 94, my best score ever is a 92. That's pretty freaking good if you ask me. Pretty freaking good. I can play. I can play. And I think part of the reason that I can play well is I've got a good stroke. I'm, mildly athletic. And also golf is just like a mental game. And what I went through and what we collectively went through this weekend during the Duluth run, I mean, nothing on the golf course could come near how mentally exhausting and frustrating and just overwhelming adversity. It couldn't even compare to what happened this weekend. So I don't get phased in golf because it's just a game, and I've been through way worse situations. And so I think that helps me in my golf game. So that's where I've been. That brings me to today. That's why I'm back on making this video. Why it's been so long? Because of the things I just mentioned. Big Miles Day, so during the Windsor run, those big mile days compiled with limited time and internet connection made it really difficult to upload and edit and get everything put together on a daily basis. I struggled with that in my 75-mile run from St. Paul to Chicago. I was able to keep up more consistently, but I had more opportunities to sit down and edit and upload during that 2-week run than I did for the Windsor run. Especially in, there are parts of Michigan that just, there wasn't a local coffee shop or a hotel I could get to, and then got into Windsor, and it just, it just kind of fell apart as far as the staying on top of the editing and uploading. Let's see. I really haven't had a moment to sit down and work. Like, this is the first day that I've been able to get back and sit in front of a computer and have a double monitor and be able to actually go through all of the video footage that I have. And so, I've run over 600 miles in the last 4 weeks. So having a moment to really sit down and catch up on things hasn't been possible. So that's what's, why it's been so long that I haven't uploaded. I saw a comment or two saying, "Where are the videos? Where are you gone?" And I appreciate that. And this is my response to that. What you can expect from me this week. So I've got to beat my beer mile, upload from the Windsor run that I put the long form up. I want to put up the short form. It was actually a wild situation on how I got hooked up with this Michigan State lacrosse player, because for those who have been following along closely, they all ghosted me. They all ghosted me. They didn't want anything to do with me, and I called them out on social media, basically told them that their program has been insignificant since 2018, which is true. They haven't made it past the first round of the playoffs in the last 6 years, which is true. And I attributed that mostly to their inability to take on competition when competition comes to town. You're being called out. You should compete. You should want to compete. And if you're not willing to compete, then you're soft. Okay? Then get out of the game, is what I like to say. But one player that I was working really hard to get, he had 2 buddies that played lacrosse at Detroit Mercy and Concordia. they were also reaching out to me to help me, and they were reaching out to him to help me get this guy ready to go and race me. Didn't work out, whatever. 2 days later, I'm in Ann Arbor, and I'm working, uploading, sitting at a brewery outside on the sidewalk, and I hear, "Are you the Beer Mile guy?" I was like, "Yeah, that's me." I had my stroller out there, so if anyone was paying attention that knew what I was doing, it'd be pretty obvious to spot me. And it turns out it was Nathan, MSU, Michigan State University lacrosse player. And he was the guy that me and his buddies who played lacrosse were trying to get race me. So we chatted, had some friendly chirps back and forth, but it was a great conversation. It was great meeting him, and I was able to set up a race with him the next day with two of his buddies, one of which was the guy who plays at Detroit Mercy. And we did the first edition of the knockout, where if I pass you at any point along the way, then you're out. And that is going to be what I'm going to move into in my second season of the Beer Mile. I'm kind of closing off the Beer Mile World Classic as the season one. That's the end of season one. And season two will now move into more team knockout edition. I'm setting up, I have one race set up with the St. Thomas lacrosse team as a part of their spring practice. I would like to reach out to St. John's, Duluth. Let's see, who is the other one? NDSU could be a possible one, but there was another. Oh, the U of M lacrosse. All these club lacrosse teams. What I'd like to do is do a knockout edition with their entire team. So it was a good way to end the season. I know it wasn't an official end with the Beer Mile, was the World Classic was the end, but that last kind of competition against other people will move nicely into what I'd like to do in this next season, and working with teams and trying to get more stories, longer videos, not so much just quick. I'd like to do a lot of behind the scenes work with teams, talk about their culture, talk about their program, talk about their work ethic, talk about athletes and the stories that they have on an individual level and how that relates to the team, the culture, and dive more into stories. So that's what you can expect. I'll upload that. The daily vlogs, I'll get the daily vlogs uploaded from the last, remaining days that I didn't upload. I think there's like 8. It's quite a bit. I'll get those uploaded from the one run to Windsor, and then I'll do a video recapping the 3rd annual stroller run. This weekend was an absolute grind. There's a lot of content to go through. And I want to do more of a video like this where I talk about what happened and show some video overlay. And then we'll probably at the end of the week, if I've gotten all of that done, when I've gotten all that done, is we'll look at September briefly. I'm not going to throw too much out there, but I'm thinking about a calendar club for just 1 month of September and throwing a twist on it. But I am still recovering from this weekend, and this weekend was humbling, and it also showed me that I've done a lot of running this summer, and I think it's time to kind of give myself a break and not completely take running off, because that's what I did between my run to Chicago and my run to Windsor, where I didn't run at all, and that was not a smart decision. So I got to find that balance between not running at all and running 500 miles. I got to find that, I got to find that balance. And I think Calendar Club could be a good balance for that, because it keeps me consistently running, and it's something that I've proven I can do for a year straight. So I think that's what I'm leaning towards. But again, I'm going to see how this week goes recovery-wise at Yoakum's and at Embrace North. And that's all I got. So I'll see you later in the next video, and I appreciate you for for being here and all the support along the way. That's another thing I just want to say before ending this video is the support. I read all the comments, even the nasty ones, but the ones that are encouraging and supportive and let me know how my running and how I go about running has inspired you to take on challenges in your life. That really does mean a lot to me, and it means that I'm doing something actually beneficial, and that's important to me. So as long as there's one person out there that gets that and is inspired to move toward action, that keeps me going. So thank you, and I will see you